learned art, taking classes, even though I'd done art on my own for a long time. And I love the camaraderie of being in art class. I had great friends that were in art classes. I still do. That that would inspire me. And so I started with the watercolors and then started, kept up with them. I still do them, actually. I just did one recently. I'm doing one now of a Buddha.
Wow, nice. And with water paint.
Oh, you do it?
No, I don't. I listen. So I find that water paint is like one of the most difficult artistical medium to use. When somebody's able to successfully utilize water paint, then they have success also in all the other mediums. It's a little bit like I play the guitar, and I always say to people that never played the guitar, learn classical, because once you've learned the classical side of your guitar, you can play anything after acoustic. You can even play bass. So and I find that that's also the same thing in the all the mediums accessible to an artist, to the traditional canvases being either acrylic, oil, water paint. I find a water paint that people that utilize it, they don't have such a talent. It's a very hard medium to utilize.
It's definitely the hardest one, and you don't use white paint. You learn how to mix the colors so you don't make mud, and that is a big thing. Mud is just a mixture of colors that looks awful. And people, I tossed some of the paintings away. And I learned how to do it better, but that's where I found my found art images, because letting the paper and then letting the watercolor run down the paper and then turning the paper sideways and up and down, letting it dry, I would see images. And I sold quite a few watercolors, and I still have some, because the images were just something I didn't just, create on a piece of paper. I didn't plan to have them come up, but they came up. They came out of the way I was feeling. And watercolor, yes, I think it's the hardest. And a lot of the famous artists of the past started with watercolors, but they would call them their, trial painting, and then they would turn to oil. So yes, I agree with you, and I'm starting to do more watercolors again.
And what is the feeling going back to the water painting?
It just feels wonderful. I use the really good watercolor paper at the Arches, and I have good paints, and I just remember what my teacher taught me: just let it flow and see what happens, and that's what I do. And right now I'm doing one that is a Buddha. It turned out to be a Buddha. It took shape as a Buddha. I don't claim to be a Buddhist, but I love studying all the religions and everything, and being spiritual, I thought that would be a good one to do. So,
So what is the size of the canvas?
That one is, I'm just doing an 8x10, but usually I do a full sheet of watercolor paper, which I'm trying to think, I think it's 30x24.
Wow,
full
okay.
sheet of our watercolor paper, 140 pound. And what else was I going to say about that?
Nope,
I've got some paintings next to me, and I'm looking at them, and I've got my early watercolors, and the big thing with painting is you want to create a clear transparency where the colors glow through.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have a lot of fun with that.
Now,
It's like,
are you the
it,
type are you the type of artist that will work only on one specific at a time, or are you a multi? Well, you'll have two, three project and switch between them depending of how you feel.
the latter, yeah. I always have something going on with art. Yeah.
So more a multitasker on that sense.
Well, my whole life is multitasking, but yeah, watercolor, painting, and yoga relax me. Fortunately, getting me through this isolation of COVID-19 because I'm a caregiver.
Yeah.
So I'm home a lot, and I might wake up and feel ugh, and then I start painting, and I just get like, I could paint for hours, and that's when the good stuff comes.
That's one of the best ideas or the best motivation comes from.
Yeah, I start out with a plan, but it's no. I know when I'm doing it the correct way, what I want to translate to people and me.
Yeah. At the same time, I'm one of them in your head that you want to portray. Watercolors is the last thing that will give you the details for it, So
Yeah.
So yeah. So
it's to me, it's the most spiritual of the applied watercolor. For me, it is.
Yeah. No, totally. Well, how does it feel sometimes when you stumble upon on a piece of something you did, but let's say it would have been like 10, 15 years ago, by either cleaning up the house or sharing online something that are you critical of your own work when it's a certain amount of time way back?
Well, coincidentally, I've been going through all my thumb drive to find some of the images I did so many years ago when I first started doing watercolor.
Okay.
And I still like a lot of them, and I remember the ones that I didn't like. But
did you get to learn, or did you get to appreciate those that you might have had less of a taste for? Did you get to, after time, get a better appreciation though by the effort?
That's when people apply acrylics to watercolor, and I try not to do that, but sometimes that does happen. Yeah, you can fix things with acrylics, but you can't fix a lot with.
That is so interesting for a non-artist, right? So this, because you said you try, so it's almost like it's an envy within the temptation of the artistical form to go to another medium, to get that satisfaction of saying, okay, I got what I wanted out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a very interesting dynamic to it. Now we visited your wearable, and we'll share it with everybody so they can go visit. Then I apologize because I'm so Joe and I'm 44. I'm from a generation that you never mention a woman's age. First of all, never do. That is so impolite. But I'll just say you're a certain of an age, and you're comment. You still proudly state like, listen, I may not know the technology because I don't have as easily maybe an understanding as the young folks. Myself also, like I'm like that. But what got you to discover NFTs? Like this, artists, you're in your early 80s, let's just say, and congratulations, that's just amazing you're still creating at that age. Not saying that they don't, but I know I've interviewed, for example, Mr. Lawrence Lee, who he willingly admits that, it's not as easy now for him to be as creative as he was before, and I'm not hearing that with you at all. But what made you discover NFTs?
You got me into what?
NFT.
What's NFT?
Yes, sorry, this is Jeanne's son. Yeah.
no, that's okay. Yeah,
I learned about it. I started doing NBA Top Shot, which I'm sure a lot of people here know about, and from that learned that a lot of artists have been minting their art on the blockchain. And my mom's always been very creative, very courageous about trying new things. So I called her and I said, "Look, I think this would be a really neat way for to get some of your artwork out there." And honestly, I didn't really, I'm the same age as you are. I didn't really understand it terribly outside of just kind of a basic knowledge of the blockchain and crypto. And so it's hard when you don't really understand it to explain it to someone else who doesn't understand. So anyways, I brought it up to her, and she's always been eager to do new things. And so she said, go for it. Let's put some stuff up and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I did America Online a long time ago, and I taught desktop publishing online just so that I could be on there a lot. And I've always been a Mac person, and my students were all PC. So I had to do a lot of research, and I was teaching PageMaker. And so, I would do research and figure out how to do it their way, put it on the library, and then go to the library and be able to download my files. So that's how I got into technology more. So, yeah.
Well, no problem. So for everybody listening, so Jay is her son. So we reached out to Jeanne first, and Jay came along and said, listen, maybe I can help my mother for the Discord part, because Discord, even for somebody that is young and is not aware how the environment works, for anybody that is new, there's a learning process. So Jay came along and said, I'll be helping out, and I said, no, absolutely not. And Jay, I will come back to you, but Jeanne, what's interesting in this aspect though was your willingness to jump into this, right? To tell your son, hey, let's do it. I know, not to question it, and have to the willingness, like you said, to be a precursor in a way to new technologies. From what I can hear, is it, you got to lift your hat for that too.
I just absolutely love learning new things. I've always been like that, and so Jay knew that.
And that's why I use the term precursor. Look, we're talking about yourself being of a certain age and saying to your son, wow, this is cool, and still be willing to learn about it. How can I commend that? I wish, I hope my mindset is there at 82. To be honest with you, I do meet people that don't have a mindset and the set like that at a certain age after a while. So congratulations to that. Jay,
your mom. Yeah. I'm not 82 though. I'm set. But anyway, I am a caregiver too. My mother is 104. She had me when she was older. She was very musical. She was very musical. And so, yeah. I think it's in the family to be excited about creative things and new things like this.
Yeah, being it also, and always, like you said, from the past, you always had, you always were curious enough to learn, to gather also the information, knowledge, to utilize new technologies, for many reasons, and I think for anybody, and let it be any sphere of, let it be arts, let it be anything, to have the willingness to learn is essential. I'm just going to ask one question to your son, though. Jay, so you get into NBA Top Shot. Is that correct? Is that how you get to find out about NFTs?
That is, yeah. I just recently got into it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know anything about this, about NFTs before that. I would say that I still have a very limited knowledge, but I knew right away the first time I saw it, I was like, I really need to show this to my mom. I knew that she would be excited about something new. I mean, like she hasn't been, she's done all different kinds of art. She does stained glass. She does the gourds that she does.
I forgot about the stained glass.
Photography. And this is really just another medium of art. And so, I knew she'd be excited about trying it. And so that's how she ended up getting involved.
It's another channel and her theory to focus on. I know it's another channel that you can utilize, and that's amazing, Jay, that you bring her. And I can tell you the entire community of Token Smart, thank you.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to be here because I'm excited to learn. It's going to be a fun project to do with my mom as well. We can, both hopefully learn a lot from you guys too.
Then we'll get his 5-year-old painting.
And well, here's the other thing also, Jay, is here's how I view it also, the angle I'm seeing it is that you're coming with NBA instead of tweeting your best friend or calling up your buddy that you see every day and say, get into an NBA. You find out there's NFT art because NBA is just a sports side. So you had to there had to be a bridge for you to find out that there's NFT art. And then from that bridge, you have to do the other bridge that you think of your mother. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally the first thing I thought of when I saw it was, my mom has all this. She's a great artist. She has really great artwork, and I knew that the technology would not be something that because I couldn't explain it. I knew that wouldn't be it, but I knew that she'd be excited about trying something new. And I don't know. I'm sure she's like most artists as well, that she loves to do art, but she's not exactly a great salesman of her own artwork. So I thought this would be a way that I could help her get it out, something new, but also maybe I could go out there and do some selling when she's more interested in doing painting and doing her art.
Well,
can I add something too?
Absolutely, go ahead.
I'm going to update my website. I haven't been on there. It needs to be updated, but I'm going to start putting more on there. So I just wanted to defend my website. I haven't had time to do that because I've been doing so much painting.
Oh, listen, there's don't be. On the contrary, I saw at your website actually. Yeah, you can add the content. I can understand the feeling you have right now. I would have it too as a person, but here it is as a consumer of your art and a consumer of the knowledge that I wanted to acquire from your website. Your website right now is not in any way outdated or bad. It may be updated there if you want to, but I can say right now it still looks pretty good. I learned a lot about you, and it was very how do you say that in English? Like I stated, everybody knows already. Magmaster is a French from Montreal, but it was really deep. You, like I said, you utilize. For me, where you captured my attention was utilizing water paint. Anybody, yeah, you have, for that. For me, you have my full admiration. That most people that touch water paint, like I don't know if you agree with me. A lot of them just stop.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. They don't because not because they don't like it. It just, sorry for the expression. It breaks their brains. It's for them. It's just too much of a hassle, right? And
yeah.
So and not you. Not that didn't stop you. You kept on going. And some of the work
It's just very spiritual for me to do watercolor. Yeah.
And I totally understand that. I can so understand too. That's what's so cool. I can understand. Here's the thing. So I'm like you. I have a passion for theology. Okay. I studied philosophy because I did not want to become a priest. So I love theology. And you're right. If somebody would ask me if you would want to do stuff, if you were an artist and you could utilize any type of any type of medium of paint, what would be more reflective of that, of being more spiritual, trying to gather that aspect? I'd say it would be watercolor. It wouldn't be acrylic. It wouldn't be oil. I find it impersonal in a way. Watercolor is very personal. If you stand in front, oh yeah. Here's the thing. You see, so anybody can stand in front of an acrylic and say, "Oh, this is not too shabby." Here's the thing about watercolor: you'll either just walk by and go, "What," and not even like blink, or you'll stop and go, "Wow, wow, whoa, what's this?" and just be astonished by what you're looking at.
Yeah, they have to sing. My first teacher said they have to sing.
Wow, that you just gave me shivers. That is so beautiful. He said, "Oh, that's awesome."
That was Judy Dazio. She was a wonderful teacher. And I met all my artistic friends that way through that class, and I just absolutely loved it.
Here's something I'm going to tell you, Jeanne, about NFTs for somebody that is not an artist, but I've been in the art business. I was more in the brokerage and galleries and public relations, but I saw how dirty of a business it was for a lot of artists. And one of the most amazing feature that just revolutionizes everything is secondary markets. So artists now can utilize the blockchain to sell their artwork, and it won't be just that first sell, that what we call that hot sell. All the cold sales that will happen afterwards from secondary, third, and fourth markets, he'll get a royalty out of it. So here's one thing that I always said about the artistical, like the visual arts compared to music art. I never understood that music art were able to get royalties on everything. Understand? Like every time there's a song that's played on the radio, that band gets a royalty. I never understood how you could sell a canvas and sell it after, and somehow, some way, there wasn't some type of royalty going back to the artist. And now that's why you see bigger names that have an established history like yours, but I know are utilizing with a bigger team though the blockchain, because now when they sell their artwork, when the secondary market artwork sells for $85,000 and you're receiving a 15% royalty on that $85,000, it changes the game.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds good.
It's funny. She doesn't really do it for the money, but then you said $85,000.
Yeah,
her eyes got big. I'll take that.
Well, by the way, when you were on my website, did you listen to my podcast?
Well, actually, yeah,
those two.
Yeah, one of the relaxing ones there.
Yeah. Walk on the beach, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like I told you, I'm how can I say? I'm just like I don't know, older fashioned. I drink like 6 coffees a day. I'm a smoker. I know I'm a philosopher. I'm in my books more than anything else. But it's hard for me to get any sleep. I don't know why. My brain cannot shut off. And I did.
Like that too. That's when I do my best painting, when I'm tired.
Yeah, so we share maybe
the reality, and you just go into another world. Really, is what happens with me.
I find to be able to for somebody to be able to have a type of performance while they're tired, like you say, meaning overachieving, trying to overachieve, is that you need to have perseverance. You need to have that willingness, that taste, that love for what you do. And when you have that passion in you, of course, your best work might come when you're tired. Why? Because that's when there's a lot of barriers. Your rationality kind of leaves a little bit. You're less rationalizing and letting go.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're more letting go.
Yeah, and many times I painted really late at night and didn't see much in it except the beautiful colors of the watercolors, and then I wake up in the morning and I see stuff popping out of it. So I said, I did that, There's a lion, or there's a whatever. There's a tree. There's an angel, whatever. And it's just exciting. Keeps me, I hope I live to be about 200 so I can keep doing it.
Now, I am going to ask one more, maybe one question to Jay. Jay, how did you get to NBA then? So my interest is how do you get in blockchain? So you get into NBA, but where does NBA come from?
Well, I'm sure there's Jonathan Bales. I'm not sure if you know who that is, but he was big in the poker community, which is where I come up. I was a professional poker player. He's big in the poker community. He's big in the daily fantasy sports community, and a lot of the poker players were early on in crypto. So there's a lot of crossover between the two. Well, Jonathan Bales is a pretty big name, and he wrote a blog about buying a NBA Top Shot moment for, I think it was $39,000. I'm not 100%. And I saw the blog. I read it, and I was like, holy! I'd never heard of anything like this. But it just made a total sense to me, like moving sports memorabilia collectibles to the blockchain. Like, there's no reason it needs to be a physical medium anymore. And I grew up. I was a huge NBA fan. My name is Naismith on here, which is the inventor of basketball, James Naismith. And so it was really exciting. And it was just something fun. Really, that's all it was. It was just a guy who I follow that happened to write a blog about it, and I read it, and I was instantly like, yeah, this makes sense. I want to do this. It sounds fun. And so I got into it, and that's one step away from learning about the art aspect, and which made me immediately think of my mom. So
Did you say Jonathan Little?
No, Bales. I do know Jonathan Little as well, but Jonathan Bales wrote a blog post about he at the time he paid the most amount of money for one of the NBA Top Shots moments. At that time, it's been surpassed multiple times since then. But he posted his blog, and then immediately the popularity of NBA Top Shot just blew up because he was already very popular in the kind of community that would have a lot of interest in blockchain and sports as well. So that it was a really big moment for NBA Top Shot.
I will tell you a secret, Jay, that you don't know, but you'll realize maybe. But so we share something it is so scary how we share something in common. I was a dealer for poker for many years. I've dealt in the WPT, WSOP, few nationals, and countless of undergrounds. And yes, been arrested while dealing card games a few times myself. And what it is astonished is that I discovered Bitcoin as a dealer because of the poker community. And what the blockchain community don't understand is that one of the first adopters actually of any type of investment into crypto, it was the poker community.
Yes, especially once they took down the online poker, they would play for crypto early on in the early days, and that was a way a lot of people could still play. I know a lot of people have become rich from sitting at a poker table and listening to other people talk about Bitcoin during the early days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I listened, and and here's the funny thing, So, as a dealer is like a bartender.
Yes.
Yes. So,
well,
you take some and leave some, and every time Bitcoin would come, I'd leave it. Like okay.
Well, I definitely wish a friend of mine who is he's a very successful online player, but he used to have to play at Parks Casino in Philadelphia, and he and another guy they always say that they would be really rich if they listened to the one guy that spent every single day telling them buy Bitcoin, but they didn't listen to him because he was all they said. So they're like, how can we listen to this guy? And now that guy is super, super rich. So, you just gotta take the advice when you have a chance to, I guess.
Well, here, I'll try to find the YouTube. There must because I didn't record those, but I did this. So I was for the party poker. At that time, it was called. It was like kind of a series, and we had a few stars, and it was early 2014, I think it was. End of 2014 or early 2015. Anyways, so and it was broadcast, and Niagara was at the table with the Unabomber at the time, and the Unabomber was talking about Bitcoin, and Niagara wanted nothing to hear about it.
Yeah.
So, and if you hear Niagara today say that he's a big crypto hardcore believer, yeah, you should have seen him at the table.
Well,
they didn't even air some of the stuff he said.
Phil Locke, the Unabomber, he's the type of eccentric, crazy genius that you want to be listening to, because they're the ones who are going to know about these the early stages, being an early adopter of things that are outside the mainstream. So I would have listened.
You want me to tell you? You gotta say you'll laugh. You'll go, oh my god, that is so him. So he was talking about how Bitcoin was made by aliens.
By aliens?
By aliens.
Oh, one of my best friends would really like to hear that.
Yeah. Well, this guy is a professional poker player, and he seems like the type who would think that they're made by aliens. So maybe I wouldn't have taken his advice then if he was claiming they were made by aliens.
Well, at that for that TV show, he had his famous ski sunglasses there, and let's not forget who he married either, right? Jennifer Telly. Yeah,
right. He's done okay for himself. He can think anything's an alien if he wants to.
No, but just on the humor side, out of all the people people that you knew about her, could have married. Yeah, Jennifer Telly is a really great match. Yeah, it's perfect, and they had a very successful career.
Let's see.
Back to
I'll show you a picture after the
Okay.
thing. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and she loves poker, so it was a good fit for both of them.
that is that then you should be grateful. While I was paying my studies as being a dealer, my mother wasn't for it, but yet she wasn't the one that had to pay for the studies. So and yeah, no, you're lucky then if your mother also enjoys poker. It is as a dealer, I was better as a dealer. I was fortunate enough to be sponsored for 2 WPT. One I did really well, finished at day 3 out of the last final table, day 4. So I was fortunate for that. But yeah, it was the poker for on the Bitcoin side. I'm just I don't follow the community anymore at all. I'd be curious to know, and that's why I find it so interesting that you got into NFTs, because if the poker community can also get into NFTs and see the money to be made in acquiring either collectibles, arts. There's so many facets. There's also real estate land that you can purchase in NFT format. I will send you some links afterwards, Jade, that you and your mother share together and view. So one of them would be, for example, there's a virtual world that was created that's called Cryptovoxel. And to view Cryptovoxel, a lot of people say it is like a Minecraft on steroids. That's what I've heard. I have no clue what Minecraft is. But that's what I've heard it to comparison. What I can tell you, me as a little bit more older generation, is that it's one amazing 3D virtual world. It just blows your mind how the creativity that you can utilize in a virtual world. And then you see the galleries, because it's actually been adopted by artists. Okay, so if you think of Cryptovoxel, it's a 3D world. You could have everything, shopping malls, you could have anything. But yet, who right now are utilizing these platforms are artists and games like NBA Top Shots and other games like that. So I'll send you that, and that'd be interesting. I will also let you know right now that I will be featuring at least 1 or 2 NFTs from your mother, and I'll send you the link so you can go and see what it looks like.
Thank you.
So what would that do? They can actually buy it directly from that virtual world. That will have a direct link to Rarible, and they'll be able to purchase it if they.
This is so exciting. Something new, exciting.
I definitely want to learn more about it, so I'm really excited to get your links. And we'll definitely read them all.
Oh, and absolutely. And for your mother, I'll send you a few artists in the scenes that were traditional artists and that have made it. One of them, of course, we can't go. It was the cover of our last issue, which was called The $1 Million Man, Trevor Jones. What a successful story that is. He sold a NFT called Bitcoin Bull. Now, he had different editions. He made like a gold, silver, and bronze. It was an animated NFT. It was very good. Don't get me wrong. It was amazing. And it sold for the like, if you calculate the total value of that series, it with the secondary markets afterwards, it surpassed the 1 million point within less than a month. So
wow.
Yeah, like unreal, like life changing. Here's another story, you guys, and this one is a beautiful one. I'll share this one, Jeanne, with you, and these are the stories that touch my heart. So there's this little I'm so sorry, and some people come back to me and say, Steph, the way I talk, but so teenager, I think he's like 19 years old. I know his name is Fusiwitz. I'll send you a link. Really creative art, like wow, like yeah, the kid has amazing talent. But what did the blockchain give this kid? Because if he did not have blockchain, this would not be a story. Okay, now you might have made success. You could have sold for maybe $50,000 US. Even though I've been in traditional art, and I can tell you that'd be almost impossible for somebody that's 19 years old. But he sold enough that he bought a brand new house.
That's excellent. I mean, that's who this is going to be huge for, are the young people that wouldn't typically have the to get in.
Mm-hmm.
but have grown up with this kind of technology, so they understand it better than old people like me or young people like my mom.
No, but here, listen to this part. What this is? Wait, no, so Jeanne, what have you done in a way? Okay, you've done something that will immortalize you. Okay, and make sure that the wallet you have for your contracts unwearable, that you put them in your will to give it to either whoever you want. Those 12 key phrase, keep it for yourself for now, put it in your will. So when they do pass away, they can have access to that wallet. Why? Because if ever one day your secondary market for some reason would boom, it will benefit your family. The world,
Yeah.
therefore,
When artists die, they're more popular, right?
No, you're never going to be more popular than
here's how I see it. So Jeanne, you may agree. So let's say in I don't know, in 5 years, this gets bigger than you can ever imagine. It is established that NFT art is feasible and it's a viable market. Yeah, any early mints like yours from a artist that had a history. We're not talking about the guy behind the computer just making art out of his computer. We're talking somebody actually, and you're there, right? They'll go, we want it. Because listen, we're talking about somebody that made the bridge between a really healthy and lengthy career and on the blockchain. Your art will gain value, I think, just for that
That's
reason.
exciting. That's very exciting.
I'd like to hear the opinion of the people. I know a few guys are listening. Do you think I'm right? Do you think that that is also an advantage that at one point, if this is successful, collectors are going to be looking for these mints. They're going to be looking for traditional artists that were maybe, but to a certain age. Oh, by the way, so who's Vandal? So you guys, Vandal is part of DAO Records. Okay, so blockchain music, right? Very amazing. That I'll share also with you guys. What he's doing for music and the blockchain industry and innovation side is just unreal. Thank you. So yeah, I think so too. The crossover will be valuably high. Yeah. So Jeanne, I think really you're not just a precursor in a way that you utilize another medium. I think that you could have took a choice that your love for what you've done and your passion will will be now immortalized in a way, meaning that those 12 key like that the wallet is always going to get royalties. And I really do believe, like I think so. That's what I told other artists too. That what I told Lawrence Lee, which is also their I think early 70s. And I was telling him, but you've done something, and he never viewed it like that. And that you could hear his tone go, my God, I never viewed it like that. And for him, royalties was a big issue, guys, because he's from the southern state, very well established artist, commissioned by the government, blah blah blah, very very well, sole known auction in traditional auction houses. He has value already to his art attached in several thousands of dollars. The guy had a high lifestyle for the longest of time, highest of lifestyle, because while he was selling his artwork, he was at his prime. He comes to an age where creation is a little tougher, can't produce as many pieces. Also is like he said, his flexibility there, handshaking, and it's a little tougher. And now he's struggling with his wife, and he's passionate about now his wisdom and his knowledge. He says that's his wealth, and that's so unfortunate because his artwork right now, he showed me a post, I think it was last year. One of his artwork sold for over 12 grand. He got nothing. You got it to read it in the newspaper. And on that, that's
okay. I see what you're saying.
yeah, and
that's too bad. Yeah,
that's too bad. That's just unfortunate. Hey guys, we're already at the 15 mark point. I will be sharing the links with you also. And listen, Jeanne or Jay, both of you, Twitter or Discord, you have questions, come to me. I'll answer them happily. You need any type of support, don't be shy. I'm only a message away.
I will not be shy, and I've really enjoyed it, and I love learning about this. And so thank you so much for having me on here.
Hey, I'm the one that's grateful. Thank you so much for taking your time with me. What can I say? I'm very grateful because it just rocks. Like I said, you do. I told you my passion for water paint and how I think it's one of the most interesting and passionate.
Well, what's your favorite subject for watercolor? I'll do one for
you. Wow, okay, that'd be amazing. And Jay, thank you in two fronts. Thank you for bringing your mom into this. Wow, amazing. Way to go. That's all I got to say. Hats up for that. And second of all, Uh, also, do you know the Well server?
I do not know. No.
Okay, so watch this. Well is huge. Now people are gonna go. Well is pretty big. So Well has a website that you can go, and the showcase that you can pick. So you do a showcase with the link of that showcase. You can then come, and every week there's $1,000, and it's a pool of your players. So they acquire points according to the game. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It's a pool, and you have to go every week and always put the link of your showcase into there, and there's $1,000. It's a pool and everything. So if you're in an NBA Top Shot, you only need 5 players. So if you have 5 cards, you're fine. You'll be able to participate. There's not a lot of people right now, and it makes it a little bit more fun in the game.
Awesome. That sounds great. I really appreciate you having us on. My mom is very excited, and it's good to see her this excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna go paint some more.
Hey, heart to you, girl. Really heart to heart. If I was able to be just a tad of that inspiration, wow, that's it. Thank you. But I think
sound like you're pretty creative, actually.
you know. So you guys don't know Mag NFT. I've always wanted. I do canvas. I've done it. I throw them out. Okay, they're awful. I have no artistic whatsoever. But here's the thing: is that I've always had I'm a guy of knowledge, and when you acquire so much knowledge, you try to express it in the most simplest format, and art is the format.
I totally agree, and I've always thought that life for me, the most meaningful thing is learning, and then using that and growing.
Totally agree, and amen to that. I know, and like I said, welcome to the blockchain. Welcome to an amazing community here. By the way, if you don't know Token Smart, this is the hub of everything. You would know about NBA Top Shot because they have a partnership with them. You would know about all the other major, well-established, that you won't get in trouble, that they won't try to fraud you, that they won't try to capture all the bad things. Stick to Token Smart. This is not my server. This is a way bigger team. The head here is Jimmy. As you can see, the admin, we have so many of them. Sandy Mouse is very active with us. Rizzle is our key. Nate is our guy behind the scenes and the computers with Drago Nate. Jimmy is our head, and it's a great place where you can feel safe and confident of the answers and guidance you'll get.
Thank you. What platform are you on?
So this is Discord. It's called Discord.
I'll set you up with one later.
I meant like computer. Okay. I gotta learn some terminology, but yeah.
So basically, it's a kind of a messenger. It's a messenger that's super well organized for for companies in a way. So it's not utilized by companies, but if you, how can I picture you? If I'm a company and I want to have my teams and fast access and don't have to hustle myself, of course, Messenger is the fastest. And then you have Discord, and Discord that permits me to create like channels that are specific to what I want. So that's why they utilize it in the gaming, because then they can actually split their servers accordingly to the games, the tournaments, whatever. It's utilizing more in the gaming industry. But if you wanted to look and make it simple, it's a big messenger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's about it. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to take just 5 minutes to close this off. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. It was something different. It was somebody known, not necessarily known. I'm going to be dropping the links also. I want you to be checking out her site. The first one I'm going to be dropping is a Rarible. So that is the platform she's utilizing to mint. She's nowhere else, so you don't have to be looking on somewhere else. Go check that out. Right now, you'll see there's 2 pieces on sale, and they're really not that expensive. Their set price is at 0.35. I'll tell you, I have a really preference for the beautiful fish, the colors of those fish, man. Jeez, unbelievable, beautiful. Go check that art and check that out. Give some love. Also, follow her on Rarible if you have an account or profile on Rarible. Make sure at least to show her some support with a follow there. Let her know that you were listening to the podcast. Like I always do, Token Smart server. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for the entire crew. Thank you, Dragonade. There he comes. I knew you were listening. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate you being in the background, and I know everything always goes smoothly because you guys do things so right that it's almost like we don't need you. But happy that you're behind and supporting all the projects. Thanks, Vandal. I really appreciate that. And special shout out to Ethan also, because every time I see his name, it makes me smile. I hope to see you next Sunday. Got something in store. There's something I'm just gonna spill out. Hopefully, without any guarantees. Hopefully, Mag NFT this year will have a year that takes it to a level that can be, how can I say, can be permanent in the scene. To really have a very strong foundation on every level. And I'm very excited right now for Mag NFT, guys. So stay tuned. That's all I gotta say. It may take a while, but stay tuned. I think the wait will be worth it, and I think Mag NFT will come to be its purpose. Supporting artists like we had today, and like Jeanne. Having other people that maybe don't have as much traction in the blockchain. But what, have a history, or have a passion, or has a talent, and that deserves some type of visibility, that hasn't, doesn't have to be behind the curtains and you need to Google it or find it somewhere else. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Sunday's a confession, and wow, pretty amazing what NBA Top Shot is doing, eh? And let's see where that goes, and let's see also where everything goes. So thank you very much. I'm gonna name some names. Thank you, Spherical. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Nituno. Thank you, BB Studios. Thank you, Elbow. My man, Elbow. Love you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yes, hey, Hubers. Uber Snacks. Thank you for saying that name. I'm French. Thank you for saying the few Huicius. He's an amazing young kid, man. He just blasts. He rocks my world, man. Yeah, Milani, you were the first one on the chat voice, man. Girl, I know you're on time every time. Thank you. I love you. I love you. Oh, that's an original username. Should I say 2 or double I? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, guys. 3:57. So I'm gonna call it an evening. St. Valentine's Day. Call your mother. Call your loved ones. And remember, St. Valentine's Day is not just about that type of love. It's about all love. It's about caring. It's about letting the other person know that, you know what, I'm thinking of you today, not because of your opinions, not because you love sports like me, but because, man, you know what, I love you, and I care for you. Peace out, guys. Love you all. Happy St. Valentine's Day.